You're listening to Cinema Red Pill. I'm Sharon.
I'm Joel.
I'm Royal.
Roy is a new guest. Royal, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Royal Kenogo. I'm a photographer, illustrator, and general artist. I'm just vibing around here.
And you filmed a bunch of our episodes. Actually, all our episodes.
I've been around for a lot of them, actually.
Which one?
No, just a few. Maybe this year. Mainly this year.
Yes, I think we started this year.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Yeah. So welcome, Royal, finally on the microphone. Although not on video, but we'll see. We hope to do more video.
I'm happy to be here for my first time.
Okay, so we're talking about Black Panther today. It should still be in the cinemas by the time this comes out. Sequel to Black Panther 2018. Those are the basics. It was a huge success. Oscar nominations, some wins. Made all the money in the world. Then Chadwick Boseman died 2 years later. I think that's the only significant thing outside of the ordinary. Yeah. Chadwick Boseman died in 2020. Everyone was surprised. He hadn't told anyone he had cancer.
Yeah.
And by then, Ryan Coogler had written the first draft.
Yes.
And originally it was supposed to be focused on him and about the aftermath of the blip. The blip of Avengers, what?
Endgame.
Infinity
War, yeah.
And about those 5 years he lost. That was the plot line. But then he died. And yeah. Sadness, people were like, replaced. People didn't want him to be replaced. I can't recall.
It was both. There's replace, there's a replace movement, and don't.
Then they confirmed that they're not replacing him. So then the plot changed. And instead now it's about the aftermath of Wakanda, vacant from the throne. They kill him in the film.
Yes.
As well. And Queen Ramonda, Angela Bassett, Shuri, Letitia White are processing their grief, and then they are challenged by an undersea kingdom of Talokan, which is headed by Namor. He says his name his own way.
He says Namor, but it's Namor.
Really dope. The whole, like, what is it? What is that water superhero guy?
Aquaman,
yeah.
That gave me some good Aquaman vibes.
Oh, I loved it.
He pulled through. That was a good supervillain.
We're getting there. So he threatens Wakanda, and then there's a conflict between the two of them. So that's the plot. Change from that to, I wonder if he was a villain originally in the first script, but they go through, like, the first film is a lot of grief. The first couple of minutes. Yeah. Everybody comes back except Daniel Kaluuya.
Yes, because he had to be a
Nope. Yeah, but everybody's back. Danai Gurira, Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Florence Kasumba, Ugandan. And then they introduce Michaela Cole's character Aneka and Dominic Thorne as Riri Williams, Ironheart. Okay, that's the intro. So, general thoughts. Let me give you the lowdown. General thoughts, then story acting, then filmmaking, then anything additional. So start with your general thoughts. What were you expecting when you went in? How did it turn out? Did you like it? All that.
And I was thinking about this yesterday, like trying to remember what was really memorable about the film. Like, apart from, I don't know, maybe the Queen dying and the whole kind of like royal palace falling apart. Yeah. There really wasn't anything major that happened in that movie that I can, like, point out. But maybe it's just because the first Black Panther movie was so memorable to me.
Really?
Yes, because, well, the first Black Panther movie was like a thing. There was this whole new, like, it was like our superhero. That we get to have, like, our kind of like our black superhero that's kind of from, like, Africa or has this, like, African based thing. So I don't know. The second movie was not as memorable to me. It wasn't as impactful. But the main thing I remember is the Queen dying, and then just feeling like, damn, that was maybe it was necessary, but the two big deaths, like to lose two huge characters.
Why did they do that?
And that really, maybe it was just me that felt that pain. But I was good with the king dying. That was good for me. Like, we should have just, because the movie was super sad, especially in the beginning. We had like two, you know, in a movie where you have like sort of like the climbing arc of the beginning, and then you have the climax and the sad little tussle. We had like an entire kind of sad moment in the beginning. Like, we had lots of sad moments in that movie. So, but maybe it's because of all the like prerequisites coming into it, knowing that T'Challa is dead and all these things. But yeah, it was kind of sad for me. It was a generally sad movie. But there were some moments I enjoyed. Like, I really loved that the new Black Panther is a woman now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about this whole movement of turning former characters into like female characters. Like, we have She-Hulk now. And like all these, well, they did exist, but for me, I had this whole like idea of all these superheroes. We had like a lot of male superheroes.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of...
And Natasha. Man and Natasha.
That's what you say, like different versions of them.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like that the new Black Panther is a female, and I'm kind of interested to see like how far they take with that, because it's still... Well, he has a son now, so I guess...
Stupid. The dumbest thing.
I guess
Yep.
that's the next Black Panther. But hey, nepotism. I feel like it's okay. I kind of like that. It's like the energy is flowing through this boy. You know? It's like,
okay.
other than that, like, it's only like the attachment that's flowing through all of us from the previous character.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's kind of keeping us like float. But I hope like the next movie, what I want to see is the battle between the humans and the sort of like the mutants and
the Talokans, the underwater people.
Like all the like the Wakandans and the Talokans. I want to see that battle because I felt really cheated. Like, they had built this whole story for us. Like, oh, the humans and the Wakanda people, they're at like odds, and now that the king is dead, they're weak, right? So I'm kind of anticipating this huge like battle, like finally the humans versus the Wakandans, like all this, like, because the humans are very, you know, technological, and the Wakandans as well. But I was kind of looking forward to that final clash, which we didn't get. We got with the Talokans. I don't think that was as epic. It was good. Like, it was okay. The boat didn't fall.
Yeah.
So I was like, sure, good. But yeah, I enjoyed it overall, but it wasn't as memorable, not as the first one. And yeah, it was pretty good. I like, after I left the theater, I thought about it for a few moments, and then it passed.
Get it?
I love that, man. That's the target audience, by the way, of Marvel. Not the geeks who are going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So I really liked hearing that take. But I don't really care either way. I might watch it, I might not.
Exactly.
Right?
Because I don't remember how far back was the first movie.
2018.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Before pandemic, just the year before the pandemic.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
In my head.
Yeah. I can see how without like that initial thing of like, oh my god, black superhero, just the average person is just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, and I can see how the takeaway would just be female Black Panther.
Nice.
And then you move on and you
Yeah.
go. So I do get that.
I wish I need to start doing like that, because me, I actually get pissed.
I was happily satisfied.
Yeah.
Truly.
But yeah, for me, after like all the stuff that with like Chadwick happened, I was very concerned, but I was very invested from a filmmaker's point of view.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Kugla, because that's an impossible situation. So I was happy to go and pay for it. Like, for me, the movie did not have to be good with my expectations. I just wanted to see what he's going to do. It's like if I had the ability,
curious.
yeah, like if I had the ability to like peep into his writer's room and just ask for like what he's going to do, and I've done that. But all I have is watching the movie, and props to him. Easy fail, like doing anything, that movie, with the circumstances that he had, because like you said, one script already coming back, and you have already like a whole audience that's like, we do not want to see this movie, so he had like a lot to prove. Now watching it gave me Last Jedi vibes a bit.
Really?
Yeah,
that's the one of Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, like Ryan Johnson, and it
Not
has
everybody hated.
well, the one that was divisive. yeah. You had the base that was like, oh, this is so wow. But anyway, yeah. But it reminded me a lot of like Force Awakens and Last Jedi versus Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2. Because when Force Awakens came out, we didn't care. But like Star Wars is back. Same way people are like, we don't care. We have a black superhero. Do not talk to us. We're enjoying it like no matter what. Like that's the kind of energy.
Yeah.
But now it's like, we're in the world, so what's going on with like all the stuff you set up, and with like especially how dark and depressing it was.
Oh yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Last Jedi. Last Jedi also had like a lot of like talking at the beginning, and a lot of like, oh man, everything's crap. We're not gonna make it. Blah blah blah. And I think for a lot of the same reasons, I enjoyed Last Jedi for going to certain dark places I didn't expect. That's how I kind of enjoyed this movie as well. Because for one, I was like, as much as I'm a comic book nut, and I'm like, yes, sure, it does become Black Panther.
Yeah.
But like, how does this Shuri become Black Panther? Because I'm like, there's no setup at all that makes me feel that way. But I thought it was smart that they played with like that timeline of like 6 years. Because I think they had the 5-year blip, and then there was the 1 year after Chala dies. Yeah. And I bought it because when she came back,
you were like, okay.
Yes, because her posture is different. Her energy is completely different. It's not fun-loving, like Shuri, cracking jokes and doing her techie things. She like it felt like trauma had slapped her properly. It's like, my family has been wiped out and I don't care. My only reservation now, because I got excited towards the middle of the movie when they brought back Killmonger, yes, Michael B. Jordan. So when they brought him back, like I kind of knew he was coming back, but I did not expect where they went with that scene. Yeah. Where she's like a bit darker and is like looking to like hit back. And that's similar a lot to like the original Shuri in the comics. Like why it made sense for her to become Black Panther, she was always like actively competing against T'Challa. Like even when he has that first fight to become Black Panther, she like tries to like compete for the throne. And her parents literally have to keep her there. Like, no, you are a princess, stay in the box. But then she was like a fighter, like I want to do stuff, and that's what would like get her in trouble. So I felt more of original Shuri coming to this MCU Shuri, and I bought into like the rage that she had. So in my head I was like, so are you going to go all the way? Like is she going to like kill a villain like at the end of this? But in my head I'm like, but it's Disney, so they can't. But in my head that would have really cinched the movie for me. Like I'd have been like, okay, this is a completely different Black Panther. And the arc would have be finding her way back. Because I would buy that you're not going to just get over that stuff that because you got a vision and now you've changed your mind. Like that stuff was... That's why it entered territory where I'm like, we've gone back to...
That vision scared me. I thought they were going to do Twilight. I thought they were going to... I was so scared. I'm like, are we doing this?
I'm so glad they didn't. But other than that, I think my favorite part of the movie was the guy playing Namor. Yes. Just also a brilliant actor. There's this one scene that stayed with me, and I don't know why. I think it's when he's threatening Shuri. I forget where it happens, like on a beach. And it's basically it was with Ramonda, with like Queen Ramonda, like when they're having the interactions, like bring my Shuri back, blah blah blah. There's when he like leans in, and I don't know if it's the lighting of the screen, but his pupils like looked fully dilated. Like he looked like an actual like creature. I don't know if they did something to his eyes politely in CGI, but I legit felt threatened like when he came in her space like that, and it made her feel that much stronger for just holding it down, like not flinching at all.
I think that's one of the best Marvel supervillains we've had in a
Yeah.
while.
He was so good.
He was
so
amazing.
believable.
Yeah, and I think he was good for the same reason like Thanos was good, where it's not a villain per se, but like a person going after something that's interfering with other people's things. Otherwise, every move he made sense. Like, yeah, so I liked it, and as much as I'd have loved to see him going up against Chadwick, because they're notorious rivals in the comics,
really?
yeah, the Black Panther and Namor, which is why you had the camp of like recast, because there's so many Chala stories that we have missed out on now. But going back to your retcon of baby Chala is now like, that's how we're going to reboot Chala into the Marvel universe. Now, be honest, in my head, that was the only move they had. When I was waiting for the post-credit scene, I was like, the only way you can kind of get out of this, because it's like they won't let go of T'Challa. So it's like if you're going to bring a son in, you're going to name him the same thing and just be like, yeah, Black Panther continues.
That was so dumb.
It was silly. The kid,
embarrassing.
it was embarrassing, but the kid was cute, man. I'll give them that. I hated the conversations they were having, though, like the basic conversation that was happening.
That was the embarrassing
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, but Shuri tried though. Letitia, she tried to add tears, like spice up the scene, but the acting could not save
The
it.
only relevant question she asked was, did her mom meet the
Yes,
son?
yes.
I
Oh yeah,
think
yeah. That
the
was
only
nice.
question.
Yeah.
Other than that, she was just all.
And the thing you said, it was a dope movie full of women, and they're like, but this cowboy, he's here for you.
Yeah.
I'm so bored.
Don't panic. The
So
dicks will be
bored.
back.
It feels
Oh,
like
dear.
definitely version 2.0.
Yeah. Yeah.
You haven't, neither of you have talked about Riri Williams.
Oh yeah. Shit. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Riri Williams. For like comic stuff, I've not gotten into her stuff as much because it felt like like one of those things like black because it was like the same circumstances in the comics. She is mentored by like Tony Stark's hologram, and she's like from Iron Man. She becomes like Ironheart. But this one, I like the Black Panther connection more. I like all the black people kind of sticking together and taking stuff on side. Daggett. She was a fun character. Like I have nothing against the actress. I know they are planning, I think, a series for her.
Yeah.
Or movie. So
I'll watch that.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing her shine on her own. But like as a supporting actress, like she held it down. Like
She held it down. I don't know how I felt about the Queen dying for her though.
Oh yeah.
It was just terrible. There was.
But yeah,
I don't
I
know
also
if I felt like
Hi.
no, I agree with you. By the way, the Queen dying was also overkill for me.
Why?
Because I'm like,
Still,
we're
I'm
good.
saying,
Like he's dead. Because
We have done one dead.
it was and it legit felt like diminishing returns with Shuri, because she already looked like she had eaten the biggest L in the universe from the beginning. So I'm like, at this point,
And
you're
now
kicking
more?
a dead dog.
Just to put, and if it's all to put Baku on the throne. I don't
I
know.
don't know why I
fine.
insisted in that, because I thought they were going to be comfortable with a scenario where she's ruling like the political situation in Wakanda, then Shuri is the Black Panther. And I was like, that would
That
be
was
fine.
fine.
that
But,
makes sense to me.
but I guess they wanted force to pressure Shuri into a situation where like, oh, you have to be queen, then Baku
He
shows
could
up
have just
anyway.
almost killed her. He didn't have to fully kill her. But I like when Namor's like, you're the queen now. Oh, I was like, now this is a badass.
Yep.
Hey.
And I'll say also kind of like the weird, again, why it's so much like Last Jedi, the weird tension between the female hero and the villain. Try to give you a hot villain to be like, we're fighting. I have ideals, but feelings.
Yeah.
or I don't know what it is
Do
with
you
that
think
show.
they were trying to create chemistry between them? Because
Those
I
they-
really was like, these two should get
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys were eye banging like the whole time, and it just they had a certain comfort with each other.
Yeah, you did
At
not.
all?
I was like, these two want to get down. That's when I started asking Sarah. I was like, oh, what age is she? Is this a thing? Because she's such a girl. I don't know if she's, if she's what age is she supposed to be?
Really? Because I didn't get the energy from her.
You didn't?
No.
No, you didn't see the way she was like looking at him in certain scenes.
When I think about the scene of her under the water and the little tour, I think you guys are right.
Yeah, there was some energy there.
Because even the hesitation, I feel like both of them could have, if they actually wanted to kill each other, tried a bit harder than they did. But it's like they kept going out of the way, just stab a little bit out of place here, like so
that's one thing I noticed. It was a very close battle.
Yeah.
Like the punches were quite close.
Yeah, even the end when he's justifying her to his sister. It's not about like Wakanda is right for us, it's about Shuri is right for us though. It's right for me. So let's have this alliance. So I look forward to seeing that. It's something new.
But did you like it?
Did I like the dynamic?
No, that movie.
Like the movie overall? Yeah. It's not because with Black Panther it was a very straightforward movie. And in my head, I like when Marvel tries new things, because that's also been a whole thing of that they're not trying anything. Because like as much as I didn't like Eternals, for instance, I respect like somebody was trying to have an artistic vision.
Can you imagine I liked Eternals?
Yeah, I remember you mentioning you're a unicorn in that one. But this one, it's only because of the emotional weight in it. That it's not like an easy, let me just jump back in and watch. But like maybe after maybe after a year or so, like I'd be into it. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie.
Let's see. I also surprisingly enjoyed it. I really didn't like the first one. I really did, and it put me in crisis because there was so much happiness surrounding it. I felt so weird. Yeah, so many black people so happy. I was bummed out to not be one of them. I really did not enjoy myself, and like it didn't. No. The accents were too much. Yeah. And here the accents didn't bother me.
They muted that stuff.
I was fine. Like you even hear them put in the American accent with some words, but I was like, keep doing what you're doing, I don't care. But yeah, I love Neymar, of course. But I'm happy. My thing. I knew she would be the one who would be the Black Panther. I don't know. I thought it was obvious. But I don't like her as the Black Panther. The suit wears her. And there's a way she doesn't have that presence on the screen. Like, and I think also she's too skinny. So I had
think
issues
that was the major
with
criticism people had with it.
She's too tiny, and the suit wears her. And when she's like, even the Ramonda, when she's talking, you're like, yeah. Baku, when he's talking, yeah. When she's talking, it's no. Like, she doesn't have...
Even the queen, when she talks, you can feel that energy.
Like,
she has no energy. Out of the suit. Like, it's not there. I kept thinking, if it were me, I would make the worst decision ever. I would turn things around somehow and make it Lupita. Because Lupita is a better actress. I would just make shit up somehow. Because
I know they kind of might have regretted that a bit.
That's just, I don't know.
Kind of like casting Idris Elba as a gatekeeper. That's also one of the biggest mess ups.
But you know what? Thinking about that story, I would watch that because Lupita has this. Because also she looked amazing.
She looked amazing.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I would have definitely paid to watch
so
Lupita.
Cool. Yeah. I would watch
as Black Panther.
I would have rewatched already if she was the one. She's just everything. I just wish. Yeah.
I think what might help in the future with Letitia, like the character in the comics has this giant cape that she wears, like this really regal. It's like a king cape basically, and Black Panther would wear that sometimes. So it could kind of help give her like a bit more, like occupy like a bit more space, especially when she's interacting with the other Avengers.
Yeah.
Because for now, I'll say that while I don't like respect her in terms of like presence, I am like unsettled by her because she feels unpredictable.
Oh.
Because she still has the strength of a Black Panther, regardless of how she looks. Because I'm trying to think of how in now the new Avengers team dynamic. Because Chadwick had his vibe in the team.
Chadwick was a standout.
Yeah. So like when I'm thinking of her, because what you're raising is a valid point, I'm trying to see how you'd like walk around and mitigate. Because I think what if they're not scared of it already, I would be scared of the next Avengers team feeling like a team of side characters.
Ew.
Like, cause I mean, you're following up Robert Downey Jr., Chris. Like that team was massive. Like the actors just murdered, and like that's all people care about. Especially the people who are like, the Marvel thing ended already.
But it also had a lot to do with the actors, and they fucked this one up.
Yeah.
It has so much to do with the actors.
But it's like, what were the? I mean, when you say what are their options, that's when the other people be like, just recast.
What's this guy's name? The one who replaced Thingy in the Matrix. That
tall
guy.
The guy with the complicated name. Something.
Just
that
get that guy. His presence is all there. But yeah, it would have been weird. The comparison would have been a lot. I didn't dig her, and even Riri, I wasn't so intrigued by her. And usually they're good at character introductions. She was just, and I didn't like her suit. I hope it changes. That's not what it looks like, right?
No.
The fight scenes were just terrible. With even Letitia, like with the Black Panther herself, there was no. Her changing to Black Panther was so unclimactic for me. Killmonger, it was great to see him. That was the only good thing for me.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't any powerful, and even the fights, they were so Power Rangers-y. It's Sarah who said it and really made sense.
Yeah.
It was so much of Power Rangers.
I agree with that. Especially the beach fight.
Yeah.
That was so disappointing to me.
Oh yeah, for a fact.
Because even not only the length of it, but also just their like hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
It was like they were right next. I don't know, but you would think with that amount of force and energy, they would be like, maybe we're just used to like Batman, Superman shit where you're like thrown to the other side of the building. But I didn't feel the impact of any of it. I felt like they were just throwing some punches.
And definitely because of the distance, and I think also his height relative to hers. I'm wondering if that kind of messed up whatever. Because in my head I would think like just make the choreo, because Scarlett is jumping around and taking people's heads off. So that's kind of what I was expecting from Shuri's style of fighting. But maybe they'll improve. I don't think choreography though was like a priority.
I agree with that. She didn't really have any of her own energy. And also and I'm not really about that whole thing where it's like when it's a female suit and it's all cut up and that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think we could have personalized her a bit more. Yeah. Just to, because honestly, once she puts on that suit, it's blank. Like her character itself, it's blank. It's just like a moving figure, and at least in like T'Challa, he carries that, like his energy.
Something
he carries that suit, and the suit is carrying her.
The suit is carrying her,
it's moving her, and it's.
But it might also be because of. I mean the power that suit represents, because like when you're talking about that image and I'm remembering how Chadwick was moving in the suit, you're right. There's no contest at all.
But I'm just imagining him standing. Maybe it's the shoulders thing. Like
it's the physique, but
she might have needed like a whole workout, like pre-workout thing where she needs to get a bit buff.
Because in Woman King, the girl is tiny. Like but she holds energy. She's as tiny as her, so there's just something up.
It's something different.
Yeah. Didn't she have some accident or something like? She actually had she had like an accident during filming. They delayed filming for like a bit, then she came back.
The only stories I had was her not wanting to get vaccinated.
Those are the stories you had at first. Then I had this story and they claim it's the actual one.
Maybe
but it could be damage control as well for the vaccine story.
In the two things. Is she butch like that in the comics?
Like butch?
Like why is she?
Oh yeah, her vibe. that was a choice on Letitia's part.
Why?
Because it. I would really have to ask her. I don't know if it was. It might have been the intimidation from carrying over from Chadwick. Because Chadwick had that slow, calm, strong presence.
Power. That's why Lupita is so great. She's so feminine.
Yeah, she was herself.
And it makes sense.
Which is how Shuri is in the comics as well. She's just unapologetically occupying space even if people don't want her there. I
think that's why we were also okay with the Black Panther. We had the Queen to sort of balance out that regal political energy and power and fighting. There was a balance to it. So now it's like I don't see her carrying all of that like fully. The Queen's shoes and how powerful she was, and also T'Challa's like general fighting energy. Like I see how they kind of broke her character down, and they made it so that she is that angry to kind of like, this is the reason why she's fucking shit up. But I still didn't feel I didn't feel the full Black Panther energy.
Not ever. One other gripe I had, which still makes me laugh up to now. So Aneka, the new Michaela Cole's character, first of all, is so insignificant. I'm like, why did you even cast Michaela Cole for this? But I died when they make her kiss that woman's forehead. I'm like, this is the gay rights you're giving us, people. This is supposed to say something? I laugh up to now. What the fuck was that?
Thank you. I'd forgotten that shit had happened. Because by the time that scene happened, like, I looked back and I was like, but what has this woman done the whole... She just keeps smiling and it's like, it's me on screen. Because it would get a few chuckles because people are like, bubblegum. I like that. I like that's it.
I even hated their costumes, the Dora Milaje's costumes. It was so insignificant. They were trying to make it a thing.
But I think they're setting her up for the Wakanda series they're doing.
Who? Michaela Cole's character?
Yeah. Because they're doing a Wakanda series, I think, starring some of the Dora Milaje. So
is Shuri also going to be the lead?
I don't think they have Shuri money to have her around all that time. What's the question is whether they'll get Danai Gurira. Is she still...
Oh, I
mean,
she's
still does work in Walking Dead, so she might be down to come for a TV series. Yo, that series has refused to die. It's wrapping up season 11 now, but it has 2 other series running.
There's a whole universe now. That's what shocked me.
Yeah.
Oh god, that Bambi, as they're really taking her time for now. That's just so sad. Visual stuff. What did anything stand out? Okay, the fighting was terrible, of course.
Yes.
That sucked.
Visually, for me, it's
the opening scene was all white.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I especially liked the underwater stuff.
Yeah.
Just because compared to like the Aquaman situation where it's all perfectly lit and magical Atlantis, it felt like it felt like the ocean. And it made it extra, I guess, creepy that these people are like living happy, fulfilling lives. Like that dark place.
They didn't have that bubble thing. I like that they didn't do what Aquaman was a bit silly.
Yep.
Yeah.
But hey, that's DC's thing. They lean into that stuff. Marvel tries to be more grounded, which is fair. We get different things. But I also like, what else did I like? I guess it's part of technology, but I really thought I didn't think they would go through with the wings on the ankles.
But they were nice.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Because it's so easy. Because can you imagine pitching that for money? It's like, so we're going to spend a couple million animating these tiny little things like flip
that
like
was
as it
definitely
goes.
strange.
Yeah,
this
but
grown man with little skills.
But he still commands respect for me. So I think that's more to do with like the actor like managing to carry it. But I like the effects of it as well in general. Otherwise, in terms of effects, this is not the flashiest movie. They did lean more towards like the drama aspect of things. But I think most especially the development of like Talokan, especially I think I liked the costumes and like some of the sets they had. Yeah. So I mean they put as much effort as they did with the Wakandans. Yeah, so
that was cool.
Yeah. Not bad music.
Rihanna stuff though.
Yeah.
They released the whole album. That's what surprised me. Like a whole album. She has a whole. There's a whole Wakanda album.
From just Rihanna alone?
I think so.
Singing slow songs only?
I haven't bothered to try it because honestly, Lift Me Up, the one song that plays at the end, for Rihanna's whole comeback, I was so disappointed. I moved on.
Babies, I swear.
I think
and just wait to give us that Super Bowl.
Because did she miss the first Black Panther train? She didn't have any song on there.
Because it feels like, especially
Thames sing the songs these days. I don't know why they bothered Rihanna.
I don't remember hearing Thames in the actual movie.
I bloody love.
But she wrote the song.
I love that Burna Boy was in there. That was some dope, especially with that was dope. Like just to hear the vibration of his music really works with the Wakanda vibe. Like his voice and the deep tones, it works. But then I feel like for Rihanna, especially someone who hasn't been in the music industry for so long, like we have more current, relevant people. Not that I'm saying she's not relevant. Wow. But as you said, Thames. Who else? Like which? Like there's so many dope artists that are releasing music right now. It felt like them trying to add more stardom to the whole thing, more flash. But if they got some really dope like music from, I think they could have like looked for some African music to play, because there's Thames, there's who else? There's like so many other.
There's
people
like a bunch of African like
who
songs.
Are, yeah.
But I see what you mean about taking the place still.
Exactly. Who are like, especially like African music right now and TikTok and music. It's very popular. They could have kind of ridden that wave, but they chose to kind of do this whole, we're gonna revive this old artist.
By the way, now that I think of it, missed opportunity to have Mbaku fighting to the Big Boys song. That would have killed shit by the way.
Mbaku doing what?
Mbaku like fighting to like the Big Boys song.
Which Big Boys?
Like the You Want to Bamba song. I
What?
would have sold because that was international. I remember Shaq
cheesy.
dancing. This is Marvel. What do you mean it's cheesy?
It doesn't go with the tone of the film.
Are you sure? In the right scene it would. But it was mostly a depressing film. But Mbaku was the only comedic person.
From nowhere.
Yeah! Yeah!
I don't know. Maybe.
It's Mbaku. Like, he was the only comedic factor in that movie.
But is he anymore? In the first one, yeah.
Not even here he was.
Oh, yeah. He was funny on the throne and stuff.
Yeah.
He was a bit funny. But
as funny as you can be in this movie.
Right. I didn't find it as sad though. I didn't find it to be so, like, I'd seen a lot of people say like, oh, it's so sad if you've lost someone before, don't dare. I don't know, I had a good time. It was okay, time? I just was annoyed that Angela, I wasn't sad she died.
Yeah.
Like I was annoyed that they had killed off Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
Like that was unnecessary. I didn't have the weight of the grief that the film was doing.
I did not either.
And then they got over Chala real quick because we go 1 year ahead. I actually thought we were going to sit in that grief.
So the trailer made it feel like...
the trailer made it seem like this whole movie is just Chadwick and he has died and we're so sad. That's what I thought. I was shocked that about Neymar and everything. I was really shocked and he was great. That's why people talk about him all day on the internet.
Because I was kind of walking into it expecting it to be one of those Marvel things where you have to remember exactly what happened in the last one, which no one does.
No one ever does.
No, they came through with a new plot so we can at least engage a bit and like new characters for us to look at.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was good. Have I missed anything?
I don't.
But yeah, I can't. Also, shot wise, I can't think of anything too memorable. But as you said, the underwater world was really good. Like it was just like I wish we stuck. Like maybe I wish we had a few. I wish we had a few battles underwater. just to see how that could have gone. That would have been really dope.
Did you at any point, I think when, okay, for me when the first time they attack Wakanda and then they pour water, I kept thinking, shit, black people can't swim.
Wow.
I just was like, this is so evil.
Hey man, fair enough. Maybe.
Oh my gosh, water. What?
Hey, it was made for that audience, maybe.
And Angela technically died because she didn't swim fast enough.
Sure. Because how did Riri survive? No, but I thought she like drowned because she was helping Riri.
Yeah, but she could have made it, and then she decided let me go swim back for this chick, and then basically pulled her up instead of her because then she drowned.
Yeah. Not great.
Not great. That sacrifice was a bit off to me, but okay.
You talked about like that fight they had at the beach, but the boat fight was even more disappointing, you guys.
Even more, especially with all those explosions and the shit didn't tip over. Like it still stayed perfectly still. Like it maybe like wiggled a bit, but they could have
tipped it over.
Titanic.
Yeah.
You know, took it all the way down.
I was happy that these fights happened during the day. You know, most times we suffer through night shifts.
Yeah, because we're trying to save money and save on what you can see.
But the results of this daytime fight was so hefty.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man had like the worst.
It actually was not as epic as literally drowning Wakanda. Like, I don't think you can follow up that with
drowning Wakanda
was one
so
ship.
True. Because that's one thing we agreed on. The queen, like she died very, like I had to reconcile with that super early. Like, I was still digesting that throughout the whole movie. Like basically the balance of this whole country is gone. And like, I think that could have been the climax. I think that's a huge part of the story. Like that whole Wakanda drowning and stuff. I think, I don't know. She died super early.
What did you guys think of like the Neymar's ideology? Like, was Neymar right? Like, should he?
Oh, I like that. To kind of protect his whole clan. Is it worth it destroying?
Like yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? I kind of sympathize. I definitely sympathize with him, but in the strategy wise, in the long run, because if I'm just thinking they'll basically destroy each other. If you're thinking in terms of like the humans and their nuclear weapons and stuff, like they'll definitely end up just like. But I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that huge clash of human weaponry and Wakanda fighting. But I think I sympathize with him, but I would have liked to see him destroy some of like the kind of fight the humans as well. So with his ideology, I agree with it because I'm technically I'm not very pro-human because we destroy a lot of things, especially the ocean, and they kind of wanted.
They should have done a bit of that.
Yeah. So
some climate change.
For me, I'm like, I sympathize with him a lot, and he's going on the offensive instead of being on the defensive, which I relate to a lot. Like instead of waiting for someone to attack you and destroy your resources, why not go at them first and sort of try and stop the whole threat? So I understood that with him. But I also got that if we went into this battle, we'd all be destroyed equally. So that's sort of the balance I was playing with. But I liked his ideology, honestly. Destroy the humans for sure.
I like I think because I like the shared trauma from the colonizers thing. Yeah. And because he had kind of lived it, it made sense. Being as old as he was, extra set in his ways. Like the world works a certain way and humans are like this. So I get that nobody's going to convince him overnight that no, I'm the one good person, because he's probably gone through this a bunch of times and people betrayed him eventually or whatever. I guess what it's not that I think he's right, but I understand. I would personally not do that. It's because it's literally the same argument between Killmonger and Chadwick in the previous movie. But I did get, because you talk about him going on the offensive, because he only woke up because these guys came looking for vibranium underwater after we really built that machine that could find them, and only looking for vibranium because Wakanda outed itself, and now everyone's like, oh my god, they're the only ones with vibranium, we need to find vibranium. So I like that moment where he's like, why did you guys why? And you messed it up for us as well. So I understood that he doesn't care what Wakanda does, but it's affecting him. And I got the feeling that he had no choice, because in the end he was reasonable enough. He's not a good guy, but he's reasonable. At the end of the day, if he's the kind of guy that still wouldn't risk his people's lives in the end, I'm like, okay, there's something decent about you. You're just very loyal to these specific people. So
I think he was played as a very reasonable villain. Even how he approached the Wakandans at first, it was very peaceful. He just sort of threatened them and said, this is how you fucked up and this is how you can fix it. And if you don't, I'll come for all of you. So he was kind of diplomatic.
That's not diplomatic at all.
He could have gone at it and said, I'm gonna kill the scientists, I'm gonna kill the humans, and if you don't help me,
but the second he came into their house uninvited, that's already a declaration
of war.
Yes.
After the Wakandans put his people in danger.
Inadvertently, because the white people came looking for them, and because she didn't want the kids to die.
I think he was a very diplomatic villain.
I wouldn't say diplomatic.
Not diplomatic, but reasonable in a way. Of saying that he was trying to form some sort of agreement, let's fight them together, not.
So let's go murder a bunch of people together. That's all I asked.
That's all I heard. But again, I'm not very pro-human, so that might be my problem. But I liked his argument. I really did. I liked how he came at it. But I agree. They would have destroyed each other basically if that would have happened. Full on clash. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I just liked. I liked it. I liked the shared conflict that they had, and even how they had a shared thing with Riri, her being black as well.
Yes,
I think it was the way they wrote it was really good. That thing you're saying, Ryan Coogler really outdid himself here.
Yeah, it's way more than I expected. I cannot respect enough that he came out with a competent movie, let alone something that has some good things in it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The story honestly really surprised me. I was fully into it. I liked all the conflict, all the characters. It was dope.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I think, because I think he had mentioned I'm waiting to see where they go with it. There's a lot of the MCU is dead talk that people keep trying to push because they're not a fan of the new what? I think I think some of the Red Pill guy called it the MCU or some bullshit. Anyway, that stuff aside.
But you know what brings back that argument to capitalism and how diversity plays at how something sells.
Yes, and I get that people are cynical and stuff right now, but I've personally enjoyed this phase of the MCU, just in terms of the wild card kind of stories we get. It feels like there's more of a playground with more creatives to try some unique stuff. So I hope it continues in that direction. Coogler, looks like they might give him one of the Avengers movies to direct as well.
What?
Because they gave one of the guy that did Shang-Chi is directing one of the Avengers movies already.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
What's
that.
next? What's next in the MCU?
There's Thunderbolts, there's Fantastic Four, then there's like 2 Avengers
Another
movies.
Fantastic Four?
It's the first one of MCU. It's the first one for MCU. Huh?
They've cast it?
No. In fact, I think there's still. When I last looked into it, they had lost a director, then they were getting another director.
So what's coming
Jessica
next
They
year?
used to
They have
cast.
nothing scheduled for next year.
No, next year they have like stuff scheduled.
Does Fantastic Four still have Jessica Alba? Cause
No, this is a different
Different
like,
people.
MCU Fantastic
The
Four. So
worst
it's happening
movie, though?
before Avengers. Eh?
Thor over number 4. Oh god, that
My
movie
God.
was bad. Did you watch it?
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
didn't. Oh yeah, I did.
Love and
The
Thunder.
worst
I
of
watched
the
it. I
worst.
watched it in theaters.
The
really.
worst of
I really
why?
Regretted, man.
Why?
Because in my head I was like, because I thought it was just gonna be like, because Ragnarok, they were reining him in
Oh
still.
my god.
So he was like doing his crazy Taika shit, but they're like, let's just rein it in here.
That was-
But here I feel like they gave him blank check, like do your
and
thing.
he didn't care.
He
Yes.
went all the way and like fucked it up.
That's a whole rant in itself.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
bad. Like this
yeah.
makes this look like a wow.
Yes.
Oh,
I couldn't take it
Photo.
seriously.
Yeah.
Like the entire time, I'm trying to decide: am I watching? Like, is this a joke or is this actually happening?
Which has been by the fair criticism of Marvel movies, and which is why I've also seen some people liking this Black Panther as well. It's like
Because
just
it's
it's like
serious.
you've taken yourself seriously just for once. There's no joke every 5
That's
minutes.
true. They actually don't have running
Valid.
jokes the entire time.
So I was actually surprised. Like 1 hour later, I was like, I can barely remember the last joke that I had. But hey,
Oh yeah, they quip so much in the other thing.
Yeah,
every fucking.
it's too much.
It's so bad. Yet I liked Christian Bale. Like he
Mhm.
was acting. I'm like, why are you giving these people your
Yeah.
effort?
Because
They don't deserve you at all.
like
Oh
I
my God.
blame all that quipping for that terrible quipping we got in Black Adam, man.
There's
Wait, oh yeah, imposing, yeah. By the way, don't, because yeah, at first I'd assumed you had watched it, but when you're asking me
No.
why, yeah, not missing
anything.
an iota of
It
a
looks
thing.
terrible.
Yes.
Just in the poster, you're like, I don't
Yes.
know what this is, but I don't want any of it.
Yo.
He exists. He's a real villain. He's a superhero.
No, but he's a villain. They made him just like they did with Mobius, and that one sucked as well. They keep trying to make all the villains
I
like
watched
good
Mobius in the
guys.
cinema.
What? I could never.
I watched
Not
it in
Mobius.
the cinema.
Not Mobius.
Good, that days.
But they brought it back to make more money after all the
Then
memes and it bombed again.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get this done and go home. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Black Panther is in cinemas. Worth watching, right?
Definitely worth watching.
Worth watching. The cinemas need to give us a 2D option. I can't take it
I
anymore.
know.
It's bad.
Because the other cinemas have the option, because for our cinemas, if it's 3D, it's only
3D. That has to stop. 3D is terrible. That's the only reason I would even give someone not to go to the cinema. Like 3D sucks. The screen is so dark, and yet when you take off your glasses, you can see it's not that
I
dark.
know.
It's terrible.
Mm.
And then I blame Avatar. You know the Avatar. You look up the ones who gave us 3D.
In the first
Go
place.
away! Oh god, I'm so unhappy.
Man.
But yeah, I did not regret watching it in the cinema. I had a
Mm.
good time. Yeah. See it
Yeah.
or wait.
Yeah, by the way,
Mm.
waiting is also fine.
Yeah.
It's not like urgently watch this. Yeah.
No, there are no like urgent spoilers will come, and when you watch it, like, oh no, I don't think so. Because I think especially the internet, what they're focusing on is the whole son rebirth of like, oh, he has a son.
Mm.
But yeah, I
That's
was
not very.
But that wouldn't have been a spoiler
Mhm.
for me
No.
at all.
because that was predictable.
Mm?
terrible. Could have done without it.
But I see how it's clever for them, because if we had continued with Chadwick, like what's her face, Lupita would not have been his final like human. It would have been like Storm from X-Men. So
yeah, that was the plan.
yeah,
right?
so by the time this kid is an adult, the X-Men movies will be released in MCU, so he'll be just in time. And everybody, I feel like that was the logic when they were like, so here's a new teacher. Don't worry, he will return. In the meantime...
But they weren't married with Lupita, were they?
No, not married. That it felt like that was just... Because the way she talked about it, it seemed like Chadwick as well had met the kid.
Yeah.
And then they
Why
decided
was he
to make
hiding?
the
Is
kid.
there like politics of you can't
They
How did they explain
just
it?
the way they explained it is we agreed that he has to grow away from the throne so she can learn what it means to be.
Wait, so
Because they
they're
were
justifying-
hippies, guys. Because they were hippies.
No, they're justifying.
That's why.
Was it Haiti as better than Wakanda?
Yes, Haiti is the place.
And
you can-
safer?
Yes.
Than Wakanda.
Yeah.
The
I don't know what they were
apparent
protecting him
safest?
from in Wakanda.
It
by
doesn't
the
make
way.
any
It
sense.
just doesn't.
It
Unless
really
it's
doesn't.
because Chadwick disappeared, then maybe I'd be like, okay, if he's not around, then maybe let me keep my kid over here. But it still even doesn't make sense. Okoye is like everyone is there. The grandmother is there. An entire army that would die for this kid on the
Literally.
spot is there.
And out in the open, in like a country that anyone can literally come into.
And I mean, Chadwick turned out okay. He was raised royalty.
Right? It's like a detriment to Ramonda. Like you
So
never raised your kid the same way.
Yeah.
So
that
terrible.
justification is a bit odd because also it's like removing him from. He's gonna have this whole new environment to like be introduced to once he's finally like becoming the Black Panther.
My God, and you know it's even better for that audience. Now you get like diaspora Black Panther. So it's not the African Black Panther because they were trying that shit with Killmonger, the fantasy of we return and we liberate our people.
Oh god.
Who will elevate? I feel like that's a fantasy as well. So I look forward to that
I hate
though.
all of this.
So let's stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's close because we had good vibes.
Gosh.
But how would you have had it go? Because would you have given it to a female Black Panther?
You already did the Shuri thing. This is
It's
kind
like you
of
almost
a
don't trust. It's
detriment
like you almost
to Shuri.
it's like you're telling people. It's like yes, she's here, but don't worry.
Don't worry,
it'll
there
come.
is the real.
So
There's
just
the real
put up
guy.
with
yeah, that
Yes.
was.
So
that's
put up with her for now.
just
Bear
the
with
real
us.
A real one is coming. Oh,
I
God.
can see how that's also now the most anti-woman thing.
Yeah.
Possibly do.
You spent the whole time. That's why.
She basically met her replacement at the end of the
Yeah.
film.
So bad.
Oh, yeah, she couldn't even make it through one film
Mm-mm.
on her own without that T'Challa coming back from the grave, reincarnated.
Anyway,
Ah.
Black Panther. Yeah. See it. That's it.
Yeah, it's better than Black Adam, so I would see it.
Okay, this has been our episode. I'm Sharon.
Joel.
This was Royal.
Thanks for coming, Royal. It's been amazing.
Thanks for having me.
Right. Bye.
Right, bye-bye.
People make films about themselves, what they want, what they love, what they fear most. Here we're nothing but props in their stories.
Também sei